And I want to have this conversation about these draft cuts and layoffs that went down in the Lakers organization yesterday. This is Mark Walter quietly telling the entire NBA that the Lakers are no longer operating like the old Lakers. The organization, I was a little bit shocked, but yesterday the Lakers fired over a dozen employees, honestly, and that might be one of the biggest under the radar stories that you're going to get from LA this offseason, because casual fans a lot of times see layoffs and think just business move, right? Real fans understand what this means at the end of the day. This is really about organizational restructuring. This right here is Mark Walter coming in and saying basically we're rebuilding this foundation and this franchise from the inside out. And honestly, I gotta feel like that's a good deal, because the Laker fans have watched this organization fall behind modern NBA teams for years. You got other franchises that's invested in the analytics. The Lakers stay behind. When other franchises built elite scouting departments, the Lakers stayed behind. When other franchises modernized their player development, the Lakers stayed behind. Now all of a sudden we're hearing about Tonny, Bennett, we're hearing about Rohan, Ramadas, we're hearing about strategy systems, draft focus, talent evaluation, player development. All in all, bro, that's the type of language serious contenders are using. Not Lakers exceptionalism, not Hollywood prestige, not we all just signed stars. That sounds like infrastructure. But I can't fully celebrate until one question gets answered. I'm going to be real with all this. Why the hell does Rob Pelinka survive everything? And I know some of y'all are going to say we won a damn championship. That's cool. So did Frank Vogel. But where's Frank Vogel now? So did Anthony Davis. But where's Anthony Davis now? Everybody gets blamed, it seems like, except for Rob Pelinka. Magic Johnson basically walked away frustrated. You got multiple coaching staff got sacrificed. A roster reconstruction keeps getting criticized each and every year. But somehow Rob Pelinka is untouchable, it seems like. That's why this next phase matters to me a lot. Because if this new owner, Mark Walters of the Lakers, truly want excellence, eventually accountability has to reach the front office too. And the Laker fans need to stop being scared to call this shit out loud. I feel like the headlines are definitely going to focus on the layoffs right now. People are going to debate whether firing employees is a good or a bad thing. And obviously, anytime people lose a job, that part is definitely unfortunate. But strictly from a basketball and organizational perspective, bro, this feels like the first true signal that Mark Walters' era is beginning. Like I said before, for years, Laker fans have felt like the franchise was operating behind teams that were pretending that the logo alone could carry them forever. And eventually reality caught up. You cannot survive in today's NBA just because you're the Lakers. You have to have some type of development. You have to have some type of infrastructure. You have to have some type of organizational alignment. And to be real, for a long-ass time, this franchise looked reactive instead of proactive. Every season felt like an emergency management situation. That's why today matters the most. That's why the decision yesterday matters so much. When you hear Rohan Ramadas being brought in for strategy and data systems, when you hear names like Tonny Bennett coming in for draft advising, that just sounds different when we talk about the purple and gold. We can't wing this thing anymore. And Laker fans, at the end of the day, the historic Laker fans at that, y'all shouldn't want the Lakers to be winging this, because the NBA has changed. Look around the league, bro. The smartest organizations are obsessed with margins. From OKC to Miami to Denver to Boston to Indiana. These teams don't just rely on stars, bro. They have built ecosystems over the year. And what you are watching is organizations and teams that have maximized scouting. They invest in player growth. They modernize everything. And they find a way to identify undervalued talent. But maybe the Lakers finally become a franchise that develop talent instead of constantly scrambling for shortcuts. Because let's be honest, the old model stopped working a minute ago. You cannot rely on being Los Angeles anymore. The NBA is much smarter now. The margins matter now. And if Mark Walters is serious about excellence, then this franchise finally entering the modern era could be one of the most important things to happen to the Lakers in years. But until we see full accountability from the top to the bottom, fans are still going to keep asking the same question, especially me. Why does everybody get replaced except for Rob Pelinka? I'm Seven Mitchell. This is Lakers Land. Be honest, should Rob Pelinka survive this new Lakers era? Let me know in the comments section. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Stay safe. Peace.